It was a quiet Saturday morning, the kind of peaceful start I had been craving all week. The smell of coffee filled the kitchen, sunlight spilling through the blinds, and for once, I felt like life was finally slowing down. After 20 years on the police force, I'd moved into this suburban neighborhood hoping for one thing: peace. No sirens, no chases, no late-night calls. Just me, my dog, and the sound of birds. But peace doesn't last long when you have a Karen on the HOA board. Her name was Linda Carlson, though everyone in the neighborhood secretly called her HOA Karen. She wore pastel sweaters like uniforms and carried a clipboard like a badge of authority. Within the first week of moving in, she introduced herself with a forced smile and said, "We like things done properly here." I should have known then that trouble had just introduced itself. At first, it was little things, a note about my lawn being too wild, even though I'd just mowed it. Then she complained about my garage color not matching the community palette. The final straw was when she taped a handwritten violation notice to my door, saying my trash bins were improperly aligned. Every few days, another petty complaint. And every single one signed with the same line: HOA Enforcement, Linda. I ignored her nonsense for a while, but Linda wasn't the kind of person who took silence as an answer. One afternoon, I came home early from errands and saw her standing on my porch, taking pictures through my living room window. I stepped out of my truck and said, calm but firm, "Can I help you with something, Linda?" She flinched, clearly startled, then quickly hid her phone. "Oh, Mr. Collins, I was just doing a compliance check. You left your blinds open, and the HOA needs to make sure everything looks uniform from the street." I stared at her, trying to figure out if she was actually serious. The HOA doesn't have the right to peek into my house. That's not compliance. That's trespassing. She straightened her shoulders, the fake politeness melting away. "We'll see about that," she said and walked off, heels clacking like gunshots. I should have taken that as a warning. 2 days later, it happened. I was at the gym when my doorbell camera sent me a motion alert. I opened the app and froze. There she was. Linda, in broad daylight, walking right into my house. She had a key. A key. My front door swung open, and she stepped inside like she owned the place, muttering to herself. Unapproved curtains, clutter on the counter. This is a mess. Violations everywhere. She started taking photos, room by room, my kitchen, my bedroom, even my old police memorabilia on the wall. I hit record on the app, then called dispatch immediately. Old instincts kicked in like muscle memory. "This is Officer 2147, off duty. I've got an active burglary in progress at my address. Suspect identified. Send units now." I was home in 10 minutes flat. When I pulled into the driveway, 2 patrol cars were already there. Linda stood on my porch, arms folded, arguing with the officers. She looked furious, but nervous. "I am the HOA president," she was shouting. "I have authority over all properties in this neighborhood." He signed the bylaws. I got out of my truck, slow and steady, badge clipped to my belt. Her face went pale the moment she saw it. "Linda," I said evenly, "you entered my house without consent. That's breaking and entering, and since you took photos of my personal property, that's illegal surveillance." She tried to sound confident, but her voice trembled. "You can't arrest me. I was doing my duty for the HOA." I smiled slightly. Funny. So was I. The officers cuffed her right there on my front porch. She screamed about unfair treatment, threatened to sue, even called one of the officers a neighborhood traitor. But by then, half the neighborhood had gathered outside, phones recording every second. As they led her to the patrol car, I said quietly, "Next time you want to enforce HOA rules, try knocking first." Her eyes widened, but she didn't say another word. By evening, the entire neighborhood knew what had happened. Someone had already uploaded the doorbell footage to the community Facebook group. Within hours, it went viral locally. The self-proclaimed HOA enforcer caught breaking into a homeowner's house, arrested by the very man she'd been harassing. The next morning, I couldn't even step outside without neighbors coming up to thank me. Turns out, Linda had been terrorizing everyone for years, sending fake fines, threatening legal action, and even entering backyards for inspection. People had just been too scared or too tired to fight back. Not anymore. Within a week, the neighborhood started a petition to remove her from the HOA board. Over 100 signatures in 2 days. By Friday, she was officially banned from any HOA leadership position in the entire county. The HOA issued a formal apology to me, claiming they were unaware of Linda's unauthorized actions. Yeah, right. They even waived my HOA fees for the year, probably hoping I wouldn't sue. I didn't. The satisfaction was enough. A month later, I got word that Linda had been charged with trespassing and unauthorized surveillance. Community service, fines, the whole deal. The irony of her enforcing rules while cleaning public parks in an orange vest wasn't lost on anyone. One afternoon, driving back from the store, I saw her. Standing by the roadside, picking up trash with a grabber stick, hair tied back, sweat dripping down her face. She looked up, and our eyes met for half a second. I gave her a polite nod and drove off. No words. No anger. Just peace. And for the first time in months, that peace actually felt real. Disclaimer: this story is a work of fiction made purely for entertainment and educational purposes. Any resemblance to real persons or events is purely coincidental.